If there's ever been a lens that proves you can take beautiful photos with a really flawed piece of glass, well, this is it. And I don't say that lightly. This is the TTArtisan 40mm f2, and it can create some nice images, but it also has some of the most frustrating issues that I've seen in a long time. So let me show you what I mean. Just about a year ago, TTArtisan released their 75mm f2, an absolute gem for the price. It's a portrait powerhouse that I still keep in my bag. So naturally, when they announced the 40mm f2 in the same series, I was excited. I was expecting a lot of good things. It was a compact, metal autofocusing 40mm lens. It sounds like a street photographer's dream. But here's the catch. It's already priced about $30 less than the 75mm, and you're about to find out why. On paper, the build is solid. Compact aluminum body, simple design, metal mount with electronics, but no weather sealing. Rear lens cap with the USB-C port for firmware updates, a clicky aperture ring, smooth manual focus ring. Around the front, you've got a small front element, 52mm filter thread, and a bonus aluminum hood. Inside, there are 9 elements in 6 groups, a 7-bladed diaphragm, an STM motor. Honestly, it checks most of the boxes. The specs look right, but specs can lie. So let's see what it actually does. Here are some sample photos, straight JPEGs from my A7C. The portraits are run through Rebloom for some blemish cleanup. Ready, set, go. So at first glance, most people would say that those look great, and they do, but here's the problem. Lenses are getting better and better and better every single year, and when you compare this to what's out there, the flaws jump out pretty quickly. Let's start with the biggest offender, and that is vignetting. It is intense. The corners are so dark wide open that it feels like someone dropped a mini ND filter on the frame, and it doesn't just darken, it really does kill some of the contrast and the colors out here too. In the center, sharpness is good. It's not incredible, but it's not bad, just good. Corners are softer. Mid-frame is also a little mushy wide open. As a portrait lens, this really isn't a deal breaker. Your subject stays sharp and the dark corners kind of frame them, but you've got to like that sort of look. Chromatic aberration, it's there. Loca, also there. It's not the worst, but definitely not the best. Flare control is also rough. You'll notice it with the lens hood on or off. You'll get some light streaks. Maybe you like this sort of thing, but most people don't. The bokeh is pretty nice. Cat eyes in the corners, some fringing, but overall smooth enough. The minimum focus distance is disappointing. However, when you shoot close up, the contrast drops noticeably, so it's not ideal for any sort of macro type of work. Now, the autofocus is fine. It's good enough for portraits, for street, for slower stuff, but I would not recommend it for sports, pets, or kids sprinting around. And when you do pull focus, it does some sort of weird wobbling thing where it's not quite focus breathing, it's just this odd distortion. So here's the thing, at $168, it's still one of the cheapest autofocusing full-frame lenses that you can buy today, and it almost nails the recipe. It's compact, it's well built, it has an aperture ring, it's a usable focal length, but the optical flaws, they're big enough that for me, I don't think that it is a keeper. I'll keep the 75mm because it earned a spot in my collection. The 40mm, I was just expecting it to be a little bit better. And that's tough because it had a real chance to be a competitor. Compared to the Viltrox 40mm f2.5, which is the same price, this should have been better. f2 versus f2.5, which is 50% more light. It's metal instead of plastic. It has an aperture ring, but the Viltrox is just sharper, cleaner, and optically superior. And then there's the Sony 40mm f2.5, which somehow is now $750 US, but honestly, even at that insane price, it's still the better lens. So the takeaway from this is it's a decent enough lens, but I'm a bit disappointed. It could have been a home run, but it feels more like a base hit. For some people, it'll be enough, but for me, again, I expected a little bit more. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Am I being too hard on it? Or do you agree that it's a bit of a letdown? Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.